Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, host of The Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program, friends. We have a great show for you. Have some really neat guns to look at, and of course, this is our 10th year on the air. You realize, come the first of the year, we'll be starting our 11th year on the air with The Shooting Show, and I tell you what, friends, that's a pretty unbelievable odyssey. Trust me, it has been. Many of you have been on this entire odyssey with us, if we are so fortunate as to remain on, and we intend to be here. We're not going to quit. We're not going to back down. I'll tell you, for those of you who don't get our radio show during the week, speaking of not backing down, we have something important to bring up to date with you. You know what? Let me show you something. This is an American flag right here, the Stars and Stripes, a flag that many of us have had great respect for many years. But you know what? In our modern society, you can burn this flag, you can put it in the bottom of a bird cage, doesn't make any difference, because it's recognized as free speech. This flag stands as much as many other symbols. There are other symbols of free speech. This is one of them, this American flag. But you can do anything you want with this American flag. Like I said, you can make clothes out of it. You can make anything you want. You can make handkerchiefs out of it to blow your nose with. Doesn't make any difference. That's free speech. It's just a piece of cloth. Flag can't hurt anybody. It's just a piece of cloth. It's just a symbol. Has a pattern on it. It's just a symbol. Let me show you another flag. This is a Confederate flag. That's what this is right here. It's just a piece of cloth. A piece of cloth can't hurt anybody. Yet you can't have this flag everywhere. You can't have this flag on a flagpole. A child was expelled from school. Supreme Court upheld the suspension there in the Supreme Court. A child got kicked out of school in Kansas because he drew a Confederate flag. Actually, this is the real flag. What we normally see in some of the pictures would be this, an entire flag made of this portion right here. This was actually the naval jack, and the square version of the St. Andrew's Cross was the Confederate battle flag. But you see, the material in this flag is same as in this flag here, just got a little different design on it. A little different design. But you know what? This Confederate flag is more and more standing for rebellion against oppression all over the world. Do you realize the Confederate flag was flown when the Berlin Wall came down? Because it stood for rebellion against oppression. And more in our own country. In fact, we had an individual named Maurice Bessinger. Maurice Bessinger's a fine American. He's from South Carolina, and he has a chain of barbecue restaurants. And Maurice Bessinger has chosen to fly the Confederate flag at his restaurant. So you know what? Because this is not politically correct, may be constitutionally correct, but who cares about that, right? Because he's not politically correct, the great Walmart chain has taken Maurice's barbecue sauce out of their stores. Or just because he wants to fly this piece of cloth rather than this piece of cloth. He's not against this piece of cloth, but he's chosen as a symbol of his and many of our heritage, chosen to just piece of cloth, just piece of cloth, flying this. So Walmart is equating the flying of the Confederate flag to being pro-slavery. Well, which goes to show that, you know, you better check your totals at Walmart, because if that's what they understand, they simply either, one, have not read history, or they're not smart enough to understand history. The war of federal aggression, sometimes called the Civil War in the United States, which is not true. The South is separated. They were an independent country, and the federal government attacked them. Now, that's a war of aggression. Okay. They don't understand that this did not represent slavery. It did not then, and to most of us it does not now. Some would say, yeah, well, the KKK, and they are a bunch of nuts. The KKK, they're a nut group. They fly the Confederate battle flag. Yeah, that's right, okay. And you've got the worst traitor who's ever inhabited the White House, who rides around on a limousine with this flag right here. He gives speeches in front of this flag right here. The most treasonous person to ever occupy the White House is standing in front of the United States flag just blatantly. He uses it all the time. So don't be talking about, when someone argues with you about the Confederate flag, well, we can't help that. There's still supposed to be freedom of speech, but it's not free for everyone. It's only free for the politically correct. Only free for the politically correct. And we had a chance to talk with Maurice Bessinger here on our program, on our radio show this past week. He is a sincere and patriotic American. That's who Maurice Bessinger is. And now Walmart, see, they've taken his barbecue sauce off their shelves because they have accused him of being pro-slavery. Okay. Well, what about all the Chinese stuff that you buy in Walmart? What about that? They're a slave country today. Even the evil United Nations, even them, categorize communist China as a modern slave state. So those folks at Walmart, I don't know. I'm just reporting the news here, friends. They don't mind buying and selling stuff for a real nice profit, because that's slave labor in communist China. Yet when someone is willing to fly, chooses to fly a piece of American history, and in this particular contest, 600,000 Americans died and suffered and bled because of their ideal about what was right for their country. So yeah, that's real sharp on Walmart's behalf there. Okay? But we realize, friends, what we're up against. So we have decided that we're going to give Maurice's barbecue sauce a little plug here. He's got a website if you want to order some barbecue sauce. And heck, I've ordered some. And we're going to try it. I've heard it's real good, because he's standing up for who he is as an American. He is not ashamed of his heritage. Many of us have great-grandparents, grandparents who fought in one side or the other in that great conflict. And we owe it to our founding fathers. We owe it to the people who gave everything in that great struggle in the 1860s. Both sides fought for what they perceived to be right. And there's no dishonor in respecting what those folks who happened to be on the Confederate side fought for. They were fighting for the country. They were not fighting for slavery. You can't get a group of men who never owned slaves. The majority of people never had any dealing with slaves. You can't get them to go fight for somebody else's slaves. They're not going to do it. It was about economics. It was about the southern states wanted free determination of how they were going to work and live, and they didn't want to answer to the federal government on taxation and all sorts of revenue schemes at that time. That's what it was about. So if you'd like to, you can go to Maurice Bessinger's website. It is Maurice, M-A-U-R-I-C-E-S, no apostrophe, Maurice's BBQ, Maurice'sBBQ.com on the internet. They have an 800 number, 1-800-MAURICE, 1-800-MAURICE, if you'd like to order some barbecue sauce. You know, there's another flag here, and this is a flag that we wouldn't take it down. You see, it has the cross, the circle and cross, meaning no more United Nations. And see, I understand, because I refuse to be politically correct. I understand what Maurice is going through, because the Outdoor Channel put us off the air because I wouldn't take this down. Because they said, oh, John, you can't have that. Because we have a slash and a circle here, no more, no United Nations. In fact, let me tell you about this. And we haven't found a good source of these yet, but a new sport that is growing in strength is, this is being used as a long-range rifle target. And I think it's terrific. And there is a group now that is shooting at this flag from the UN. Yes, just a piece of cloth, but, you know, they're shooting at the UN flag. It's a wonderful target. And I think that's terrific. If we can find a source of these things, we'll be able to, we'll turn you toward that. So anyway, friends, we're glad to have you with us today. Many things to talk about. We're always short of time. And let's look at some guns. Let's have some fun while shooting.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, this is the new Georgia Arms 20th anniversary catalog. Of course, has a memorial there to our good friend Jim Clark there on the cover. This is a terrific catalog from the finest ammunition maker in the United States. They have all kinds of great prices on all sorts of ammunition: 243 Winchester, 270s, 7.62 by 39 Russian, all kinds of great stuff. They've even got 308 tracers, 30-06 tracers, all kinds of neat stuff here in this great new Georgia Arms catalog. They have components if you want to load your own ammo, and look here, we've got the Shooting Show and our new 460 Rowland kit on sale as well. Georgia Arms has the best prices for custom grade ammunition that I'm aware of in the United States. And guess what else? They're helping to support our Shooting Show. Friends, give them a call today. Free phone call, free catalog. 1-800-624-6861, 1-800-624-6861, Georgia Arms, and please remember to tell them that you heard it and saw it here on our program. You know, friends, we're going to try a 460 Rowland cartridge here. By the way, you can buy the kit right through the program here, of course, to convert your 1911 into a 44 Magnum power handgun. But we have a new challenge here. We have some volunteer water bottles, but this is the international version of the volunteer water bottle, and isn't that a nice shade of blue there? Let's see how they work as targets. Well, I would say that's a pretty good target. Let's try the other one. Yep, regardless of what color they are, they're no match for our 460 cartridge. Now, friends, we're looking at three 22 cartridges here, 22 caliber cartridges. On the left is a 22 long rifle. In the center here is a 22 Magnum, and of course, over on the right, this is the 223 Remington, or sometimes called the 5.56 military cartridge. And we use the 223 and the 22 long rifle for reference on the 22 Magnum. The 22 long rifle is a rimfire. The 22 Magnum is also a rimfire, see, and on the 223 Remington we have a center fire. This is the primer here in the center. The two rimfire cartridges are ignited by crushing a little portion on the rim. This is what's meant by rimfire versus center fire. This is the new version from Clark Custom Guns of the Ruger semi-automatic in 22 Magnum. This is a new development for Ruger and certainly for Clark's. This is a Clark Custom Guns custom laminated stock, which they are selling now for the 1022s as well as this gun and the Mini 14 soon. These are super quality, very attractive stocks. And of course, here we have an action similar to the 1022 action many of us are familiar with from Ruger, with the exception the action here is all steel here instead of aluminum as on the 1022s. This is all steel, and of course Clark's has fitted this gun with a much, much heavier barrel. Let's take a look in comparison. This is the barrel for the .22 Magnum from Clark's, and here is a standard .22 long rifle barrel in comparison. You see the difference in the thickness of these two barrels. This is what we're used to on the .22 long rifle guns, and this is the new heavy barrel for super accuracy from Clark Custom Guns. We have three varieties of .22 Magnum ammunition that we're shooting today, and this is the model from Federal. It is a 50 grain. This is a somewhat lesser velocity. It's a 50 grain jacketed hollow point from Federal, and this particular bullet runs 1,500 feet per second out of the Clark Ruger rifle. Here we have another one from CCI. This is what we're most familiar with when we come to talking about .22 Magnums. This is the CCI Maxi Mag. It's a 40 grain bullet at about 1,800 feet per second out of our Clark Ruger rifle. And there's one more. This is a newer version. This is also from Federal. This is a 30 grain bullet, jacketed hollow point, 30 grains, here available from Federal. And this one runs a strong 2,400 feet per second, which makes it by far the fastest .22 Magnum cartridge I am aware of, certainly in the rifle. So these are the three loads we're examining today.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
Here at Gun Owners of America, we have found a lower level of gun hater than the garden variety sort typified by Senator Charles Schumer and Sarah Brady. This kind of gun hater is consistent, though, you have to say that. Maryland State Senator Barbara Hoffman has decided that raffles of firearms need to be made illegal. Since she is a member of the Maryland State Senate, she made a serious run at banning this practice that no one had suspected of being so evil that it needs to be banned. The senator told Gun Owners of America that raffling off handguns, quote, trivializes the tragedies of thousands of Americans. As such, it is an appropriate response of government to take action. We do not allow alcoholic beverages to be advertised or used or sold everywhere, although it is a legal product. The same is true for cigarettes. The same theory should be true for a handgun, a legal product, but one whose primary purpose is to do harm, end quote. As columnist Ann Coulter said in answer to this line of argumentation, of course guns kill. That's why we want to buy them. We do not buy them because they spray a bouquet of daisies. The little problem about the constitutional protection enjoyed by firearms that has not been extended to alcohol and cigarettes is no problem for Senator Hoffman. She's got an answer for that. When asked how banning a raffle was any different from banning the sale of a handgun in a store, the senator stoutly retorted, "I'm a legislator, sir. If we pass a law that you can't raffle a gun, you can't raffle a gun. There are still places to buy a gun." The senator reiterated her deep concern for the thousands of children who have been killed by people with handguns who do not take care of them. When asked about the hundreds of thousands of lives saved by handguns, she polished that argument off with a snappy, "I don't believe that for 1 minute." Happily, even the Maryland Senate found banning raffles a bit much, and the bill was mercifully aborted in committee. From Washington, this is Larry Pratt for Gun Owners of America.
For more information on Gun Owners of America, the only no-compromise gun owners organization in the Washington, D.C. area, call them. Free phone call, area 888-886-GUNS, 888-886-4867. Please remember to tell them that you saw it here on our show.
Now, those of you that are familiar with the Ruger 22s, the 1022, will find this very familiar. It has a similar magazine arrangement here in the bottom of the gun. We'll go ahead and push here and grasp it. And here is the standard Ruger version, their rotary magazine. This holds 9, at least that's how many I've been able to get in this one, of the 22 Magnum shells. Well, let's go ahead and load it, and I'll show you briefly. Here's how the shells go into it, like so, and you just press one down, it's spring loaded, very easy to load. There's another one, and this is how we load the magazine. You have a little groove here, press it right here and slide back, and there it is. We've loaded our magazine. To insert, we just push it here in the magazine well and snap it in place. Go straight in, easily done. And these guns will have a soft rubber recoil pad, and that's not so much for, one, there's no recoil on the 22s or on the 22 Magnum either, for that matter, not enough to even talk about. But when you set the gun down on the stock, this rubber recoil pad will keep it from slipping, keep it from falling if you lean up against a wall or against a tree stump or something. This is for convenience and safety. It keeps, also something else it does, it will keep the position on your coat or on your shirt easier, make it a little more stable, a little more firm. And of course, to load the gun, we have, we'll point out the safety here is at the front of the trigger guard. That's on, and push it the other way, and that's off. It has a little orange band on it. And to load the gun, here's how we do it. Pull the bolt all the way to the rear and let it go, like so. Bear in mind that these Clark Custom guns have a tremendous action job on them. They have much lighter triggers than we would be accustomed to on and apply our safety there, than we'd be accustomed to on a factory gun. And let's see how the gun shoots. Now, a target actually comes with these guns that are available either on your gun, they'll do the package on your gun, or they will sell you a complete gun fitted out just like this one from there at our friends Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana. We've got our targets out here. We're going to be shooting at 50 and 100 yards. And remember, when we're taking a bench rest, one, we want to be comfortable and we want to be solid. We want to be solid. We want to take our time, get our sights lined up here. That's how it works. Now, we've got a 6-power scope on this particular gun, which is not going to, it ought to give me pretty good accuracy at 50 yards. The magnification is not going to be strong enough where I can shoot the best groups at 100, but that's what we've got today. And this is the real world, and certainly for this cartridge, that's plenty of scope within its useful range. But remember, get settled, take your time, breathe deeply. You don't run down and put the target up and then run back and shoot, because then your heartbeat and all, you'll be moving the gun all around. So think calm. Don't drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee before you go out and start doing bench rest shooting. Think again, calm. Okay, here we go. Get it locked in. Now, friends, we've retrieved our targets here. We'll go ahead and set our gun down. I tell you, this is not a lightweight now. I mean, this is not something that, but I tell you, for longer range shooting with 22, this will be an excellent varmint type, but realize it's going to be heavier because of the desired accuracy and that heavy barrel. But let me show you something. Now, these guns come with a target that supplied by Clark Custom Guns, which is with the serial number of the gun, and it tells you what ammo it was fired with. Well, we expect this to be pretty good. In fact, let's look at the targets we shot. Now, friends, this is the factory group that is supplied with the gun. 5 shots at 50 yards, Federal Premium 22 mag ammo, the 30 grain Federal factory ammo, and Rand, you're looking at a 1/2 inch group. Well, let's compare it to our 50-yard group that we shot, and look at this. No, I did not have the scope 0. We're going for accuracy here. And you'll notice the group I shot, this was with CCI, the standard velocity 22 Magnum 40 grain bullet at 1,800 feet per second. And see, we essentially matched, this is also a half-inch group. We matched the group from the professional shooter over at Clark's.
Realize, friends, this is vastly superior performance to what will come from the Ruger factory once Clark's gets through with it. For information on this package and others, call Clark's at 318-949-9884.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
For folding stocks, for pistol grips, for regular stocks, for replacement stocks, for magazine extension tubes for your shotgun, for magazine replacement springs for your shotgun. How about the executive eye scraper, the executive letter opener, all from Choate Machine and Tool when you call for a free catalog. You can get the executive letter opener, a multi-purpose tool, or the executive eye scraper, a multi-purpose tool, for only your choice, only $2 when you call for a free Choate catalog. You can get both of them for $4, a $10 value. Friends, if you're a shooter or a gun owner, you need one of the Choate Machine and Tool Company catalogs. Call them today, 1-800-972-6390. In Ball Knob, Arkansas, they're helping to support our project. You need one of their catalogs. Again, 1-800-972-6390. And please remember to tell them that you saw it here on our show.
And now for our support group, we have Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. We have Brooks Communication in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have Dennis Crocker Firearms Training in South Carolina. We have Gearlings Equipment Rentals in Southern California. We want to remind you that we will be 45 minutes late on next week's program. We'll be on Channel 10, E2, same satellite, Channel 10. Please make note of that. 1 week from tonight, we'll be 45 minutes late with our show, then back to our standard time. Please make note, E2 Channel 10.